Alright there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and this now is about the current David De Gea rumours that have risen up yet again. Real Madrid's long-standing interest in David De Gea, they still have an interest in David De Gea, and the rumours have risen up again. But according to, the reports are suggesting that basically now that Real Madrid do not have them necessary funds to be able to grab David De Gea basically. And basically that Real Madrid would have to offload some of their players to get wage bills into the team to even think about making a move for De Gea, because we will offer a staggering amount. We will sell him for loads amounts of money. As you could see with Real Madrid, why they have currently been struggling in negotiations with the clubs and to get players in that they want and to offload players so they can generate more funds into their club, is because they're charging way too much for Morata. Obviously they've offloaded Rodriguez, and you can see they've been struggling to negotiate with other clubs of Real Madrid. So basically now I've basically got David De Gea's overall stats here, and he's settled in at Manchester United. You know, his overall stats: 2011-12, 102 saves, 13 clean sheets. 2012-13, 84 saves, 11 clean sheets. 2013-14, 97 saves, 12 clean sheets. 2015-16, 81 saves, 15 clean sheets. And 2016-17, 74 saves, 14 clean sheets. And these overall stats are absolutely dramatic. He has kept 10 clean sheets every single Premier League season with Manchester United. Obviously, towards the end of last season, he didn't get that first choice. Obviously, Morero got that first choice, but I think we're still confident that we can retain him going on to this season. He's potentially the world's best keeper in the world. The reason that Real Madrid now have regained their interest basically is because they failed to pursue Donnarumma, they failed the pursuit of Courtois, who currently Chelsea are currently refusing to sell. But yeah, basically, what am I going to say now? Basically, back in 2015, when it all went to a collapse for De Gea, right at the final hurdle, it looked so Real Madrid were going to get him. It looked imminent and that they were going to get him on the board. It currently went to a transfer collapse. And currently under the Louis van Gaal era, there was advanced talks with Real Madrid and stuff about this, but it didn't currently happen. But does David De Gea want to go to Real Madrid? We could understand some suggestions why, because he's born in Madrid, his girlfriend's in Madrid, he has relatives in Madrid, and he has a lot of and he's currently born in Madrid and currently risen up the ranks with Atletico Madrid as well. And currently, if we basically were to offload De Gea after being at the club, in 2011, you know, under the Moyes era, under the Van Gaal era, and now under the Mourinho era, it's not going to come cheap. I think it's going to be at least, we'll be looking at least 50-60 million to offload David De Gea to Real Madrid. Maybe we may want one of their players in there as well if we are currently to offload David De Gea. Because the rumours have stemmed from before, basically, that, there guys. The rumours have stemmed from before. It's been spouting about a while that David De Gea has been involved in a Morata deal and the Ronaldo deal with 180 odd million in stake as well. He's been involved in a Varane deal as well before. And Real Madrid have basically showed their interest in David De Gea, their long-standing interest. But I'm not quite sure what's going to be happening about this. But as I said, his overall stats are absolutely dramatic. He's potentially the world's best keeper in the world. I said we do need another keeper if David De Gea does go, because the goalkeepers that of the others are nowhere near in the same calibre as David De Gea. So just shows that Real Madrid now have basically showed their interest again, and basically they are quoting out they are not giving up on their pursuit of David De Gea. But with Manchester United, he's been fantastic. You know, he's won his 2 Premier Leagues, FA Cup, 2 League Cups as well. So just shows you how much of a fantastic keeper he is. The amount of clean sheets that he keeps. He's a fantastic ball interceptor, and Jose Mourinho is still determined to keep him. And currently the money we paid for him from Atletico Madrid, the money we basically paid Atletico Madrid, which was 17 million. The price tag could be, if we are willing to sell him, could be about at least maybe 3 times more than the price we paid for him from Atletico Madrid. So basically, Real Madrid are looking to generate funds into their club. They basically haven't got, according to the ESPN sources, they haven't got the correct amount of funds to get David De Gea on the board. But we'll have to see what happens. But I think we're still confident of retaining David De Gea for this season. It's very, very important. The amount of clean sheets he keeps. You know, it's just very, very important, guys, that we do keep him. As before, you know, suggestions are still up. He'd been currently house hunting in Madrid before as well at David De Gea. And yeah, we'll have to see what happens. He's currently playing in the pre-season game in the early hours of the morning. As I said, you can stream it on MUTV as well. So yeah, and also before, we're on to reports that a 60 million bid had been rejected from Jose Mourinho and Manchester United for David De Gea. So they may have talks, Manchester United and Real Madrid, about this, what's going to be happening with David De Gea. They might come to a conclusion, but it's whether David De Gea wants to leave Manchester United. That's the thing. He's born there, so you can understand why he may want to go back to Madrid. But I'm not quite sure. It's very, very crucial that we do keep David De Gea. It's very, very important that we keep a goalkeeper of that calibre, as we have had fantastic keepers over the years. But David De Gea is just the best in the world. And if he does go, who are we going to replace him for in goal? That's the thing. Who are we going to replace him for? And I say we're going to offer, if he is to leave, we're going to offer Real Madrid a staggering amount of money. Real Madrid basically, I don't think, swap De Gea, Varane, sign Donnarumma. Well, yes, basically, as I said before, with the deals that Real Madrid have currently cooled their interest a few times, and then they've regained their interest because obviously they didn't get the pursuit of Donnarumma or Courtois, because I said Chelsea are refusing to negotiate about this or refusing to sell him. For me, for David De Gea, basically, he won't come cheap if Real Madrid want him. I say Real Madrid basically need to offload some of their players to generate more funds into their club, because they've been hard to negotiate with other teams, as they're charging way too much money for the likes of Alvaro Morata, and that's why we signed Romelu Lukaku, because wasting his time on one player, we could have 2 or 3 players on the board, you know, where we're negotiating about that. But basically with Morata, everything had been agreed. We were just struggling to fully agree a full-on fee for Morata, as Real Madrid were charging way too much money. As I did say though, mate, if David De Gea does go, in return, I like Donnarumma. But obviously now he's signed a new contract to AC Milan. But I would have liked Donnarumma if David De Gea was to leave. But basically, for me, I say Real Madrid offer some money. Yeah, true. Donnarumma's agent, yeah, that's correct. For me though, with David De Gea, if he leaves and they offer loads of money, and I say we get one of their players in return as well, like you've just said, I'd say Varane would be fantastic. He's one of their stable centre-backs. He's a Varane. He's currently been in the equation before. Dan Bolland had reported this quite a while ago, that we'd had an interest in, Varane, because the centre-backs, I think we do need a centre-back if Smalling and Phil Jones do go, which they may do. We definitely need another centre-back in there. Smalling's been linked to quite a lot of teams. Smalling, the criticism that he suffered last season under Mourinho, he hasn't been very, very, very good. He may depart the club. Phil Jones may depart the club as well. Jones is good when he gets some running games, but if they do get rid of them both, or at least one of them, I still think that we do need another centre-back in there. I do think that left-back, I said I'd give Luke Shaw another chance. He's not fully that injured, to be quite honest. He's only got a slight injury now. He won't be. I don't think he'll be participating in the US game, as I said. But we have looked into quite a few left backs. It does concern me a bit, but it's not the most central position. The most central position for me is that centre defensive midfield, where we need to add depth and creativeness in there. That's what we basically need to do. And Fabinho, a 9-goaler would be absolutely perfect in my eyes there. And yeah, and Perisic, as I said, yes, could be finalised by Monday. I think he's currently in northern Italy training with Inter Milan. Is even Perisic right there? Put another comment down if you want. But even Perisic is forcing the move. I don't know if he's had full-on discussions with the manager, but the agents tried discussing with the Inter Milan officials about pulling the deal through. I did say he doesn't set the world alight. He can't improve his squad, but he can't improve his starting 11, but he can improve his squad. Even Perisic, he doesn't set the world alight. Damasio announced this, that they want £50 million or something like that for you. I said Perisic is not worth £49 million. We'd been in advanced talks for £35 million at one point. Inter Milan looking more in the region. They want £49 million. I did say he's not worth £49 million. We do need them creative winners. He's got tremendous speed. And the lacklustre campaign that Inter Milan did have last season, he was still one of their standout players, and he still would be very, very beneficial. But with him coming in, that will basically lack Martial's game time. So whether do you think Martial's going, I don't know. Can you let me know if you think Martial will go? I can't see Martial going because he'll grow into his game, develop himself more, and he still needs more time ahead of him. He obviously failed to replicate the form that he was in before Martial, and he has struggled. I thought it was fantastic against Burnley last season, but most of his games came on the left last season. Obviously, he's not going to get put into that central role now. I think he was disappointed losing out on that iconic number 9 shirt he was wearing, Antonio Martial. So can you put your comments below? Obviously, Paul called Martial, it poured cold water on the speculation from Arsenal. He publicly tweeted out it's a false rumour, which was fantastic from Martial. Roma have showed their interest. There'd been talks about Inter Milan with the Perisic deal. That could happen as well, which I don't really believe. But I think Perisic does want to come. I think it's going to be finalised by Monday. I think he's still got a 3-year deal with Inter Milan. Of course, he's been at Wolfsburg in the past, been at Dortmund in the past, and he's a highly experienced player. And with good players playing around him at Manchester United, he will progress fantastically well. And as I said, with Real Madrid, he's ridiculous. For Morata, he's a good player. As I said, he's got a fantastic pedigree as Morata, but he's currently a reserve player because he isn't getting the starts at Real Madrid that he wants. Because I said it's all built around Ronaldo, it's built around Benzema and Gareth Bale as well. This is why Real Madrid have been struggling in this transfer window. Same with Monaco, you know. Monaco they have got some players into their team. They've got a high experienced team. Has there been, can you put your comments below, has there been in talks about Mbappe recently? Because I haven't really looked into that. Who I would really love at Manchester United. You know, fantastic for France. He's been praised and admired off Paul Pogba for his fantastic performances. 29 goals in all competitions last season for Monaco. Morata as expenses as Griezmann. That's just ridiculous though. I said Morata is a good player. But you can't, as I said, you can't compare him to the likes of Griezmann. You know, Griezmann is a fantastic player. We was all confident he was going to be coming. We was all relying whether the transfer thing was going to be lifted or upheld. Unfortunately, it was upheld, so we couldn't get him on the board. But he had that guilty conscience to Griezmann. I think he did want to come to Manchester United, but obviously Atletico Madrid couldn't find an alternative replacement to replace Griezmann. But I still think in January we will look at Griezmann. I've dwelled about it. I was disappointed that we didn't get Griezmann on the board. You know, play these calibre, score goals, lead the lines, good at getting through the channels, and probably one of the best forwards in world football. So, and again, French. So I said there's a lot of good French players out there that can come to the Premier League and tear the Premier League apart. If you've got any questions, mate, could you just put some more comments below, and I will get to them in a minute. So why? Dembele, yeah, there has been talks about that. I think he just recently snubbed Barcelona offers Dembele. Obviously Dembele, you know, he's comparison to even Perisic in so many ways. Obviously more highly rated, he's a high prospect. And I did say when Ronaldo and Messi retire, he will be in the top 2 or top 3 of world football. But a team, basically, is not just all about having the... Obviously, we've got the money to do it. We're one of the richest clubs in the world. You want the players that you want to get in, but you can't always get them Galactico players that you want in. In a team, you've got to have a mixture in there. You can't just have all the Galactico players that you do want in. But we have got the money. We've got a fantastic history. We've got the best fan base. We've got the biggest stadium in English football. One of the biggest clubs in the world. And I said that's always beneficial. But the way the transfer window's going at the moment, with City spunked a load of money, they've just signed Kyle Walker, which is a good signing for them. It was Pep Guardiola's main priority was that back line, because obviously they'd lost 3 of the defenders. They'd lost out on Dani Alves, which they was disappointed about. Pep Guardiola was looking for a reunion with Dani Alves. You know, and I'd love the likes of Nainggolan. I think Damasio had announced it sometime. I think it was the start of May that Damasio had announced this. That I think they'd been holding talks, something like that. I don't think there's been a full-on initial approach as yet for Nainggolan. Inter Milan had been in there, but obviously they're not going to sell him to an Italian rival, I presume. I think Chelsea had been there, but Nainggolan, competitive, good at going forward, very tenacious, good at breaking up the play. And he's one of the best midfielders in world football. He's good attacking, he's also good defensively as well. Is the Fabinho deal stalling because of money? I don't know, mate. With Fabinho, I think Monaco may still want to keep him, but Fabinho did quote out he's adamant that he does want to leave Monaco. But I'm not sure what his next destination is going to be, to be quite honest with you, Fabinho. I'd love Fabinho. As suggestions Damasio had announced this before, the Italian journalist, he's very reliable most of the time when it comes to Italian stories, that we'd nearly agreed a deal. And he did say, basically, it was a tempting invitation. And he asked basically what his squad roll number were going to be at Manchester United. So that at that moment in time, that stirred up suggestions that he did want to make a move to Manchester United. He also said he wanted to join Manchester United over Manchester City. Arsenal have been involved in that as well. But he did say, according to the Spanish outlet, that Atletico Madrid had agreed a 40 million deal for Fabinho. But I'd love the likes of Fabinho. I'd love a lot of Monaco players that progressed them fantastically well last season for their La Liga win for the first time in nearly 2 decades. And I'm not quite sure what's going to be happening with Fabinho. Obviously, more things will report on it, and then we'll come to a conclusion then when it gets reported what's going to be happening with Fabinho. As I did say, can you tell me, is the Matic deal still on? I don't know. It will be difficult to sign Fabinho. Yes, it will be difficult in that asset. Yeah, mate, you're quite perfectly on. Yes, Chelsea have signed Bakayoko. Did you see it, basically as a report with that fake narrative, as I said, that we'd agreed the same deal as Chelsea to hijack Bakayoko? And did you see the Twitter, what it was putting out on Twitter? He was teasing a lot of Manchester United supporters. Teasing Chelsea fans and putting them in panic, saying his location was Manchester and stuff like that. I think the medical was, that fake narrative, that unexpected, the delay. It was only delayed, I think, because of a slight injury that I think he suffered last season. That was the delay of the medical. But Bakayoko, I do like him. He's good in the air. He's tenacious. He's good at breaking up the play. But between him and Fabinho, I think Fabinho's just slightly better than Bakayoko, to be quite honest with you guys. So I would prefer Fabinho over Bakayoko. Can you put your comments below? Is there any news on Matic? I don't want Matic. He doesn't compliment you like your Rares, your Pogbas. He doesn't compliment them at all. I don't want Matic. He's a Chelsea reject. But I said the Lukaku deal as now, and Chelsea are annoyed about this, as basically I think jeopardised the Matic deal. But it could still happen now, as I said, now that Chelsea have got Bakayoko on the board. Is there any news on Matic whatsoever? Could you let me know in the comments? Because I haven't looked it up. Could you just let me know if there's any news on Matic? Eric Dyer, yes. I said he would have been one of my main priorities. He would have been my first choice. But Eric Dyer, what I read before, that I think he's adamant that he does want to leave Spurs. But, as I did say before, Pochettino's looking to generate funds in his transfer market. And it did say, mate, basically, that to a lot of their players, they are resisted to a lot of their players. So, basically, I don't think they're willing to let Eric Dyer go. I think Mourinho offered to double his wages. And I think it was going to be... He was willing to offer around £50 million for Eric Dyer. He's not worth £50 million, but I would prefer him over Matic any day of the week. He is good, he is versatile, he can play numerous positions, he is good at driving forward and feeding his teammates ahead of him. Yes, he could be the next Carrick. Carrick's not the player he was, he's aging up, he's still the fluid of Manchester United, as I said. I am quite delighted now that Rooney's fell down the pecking order that he has currently got that captain's armband for this season, which is fantastic. But Dyer wouldn't be my first choice, but it would be my first. He would out of him and Matic, he would be my first choice. So can you let me know if there's any news on Matic, please? By any chance? And I think it is confirmed that Nelson Semedo has currently joined Barcelona as well. Yeah, good point. They have been after Barkley of Tottenham. I think this was mainly to do with the Rooney deal as well, when Rooney has currently left Manchester United. That could end Barkley's career at Everton as well. So basically, if Spurs do get Barkley in, and then they may be adamant to sell Eric Dyer, but you've got to think realistically. They've just lost a fantastic right back, Kyle Walker, who was a fantastic player, good at driving forward, very dynamic. And Kyle Walker, tall, quick. Apparently, according to Football Association, was the best player in England last season as a right back. And Tottenham are looking to generate these funds, to get more players. And I don't even think they've got a player in yet. They've still got a good squad though, even though they've lost Kyle Walker. I don't think Tottenham will collapse. I still think they'll be very consistent, like they have been for the last couple of years. Obviously, they've got Champions League football as well, so a lot of players basically, or Pochettino would not want them players to go the way they've been performing over the last couple of years, such as Harry Kane. They've still got a good, fantastic squad. They've got Harry Kane, Dele Alli, Dembele, Danny Rose there. And Danny Rose and Kyle Walker on the flanks last season were fantastic for Tottenham. And yeah, so can you let me know if this... They would still need a backup to Harry Kane. Yeah, true, they would need a backup to Harry Kane, but Harry Kane... probably one of the best strikers in the Premier League, without a doubt, at least. Currently won the Golden Boot, was it last season or for the last couple of years? He's won the Golden Boot, and they've currently got a new stadium recently as well of Tottenham, and they've been very consistent the last couple of years. But as I did say in this transfer window, I said Serie A bought quite a few players. Everton have bought 6 or 7 players. They're looking to strengthen their squad up because Koeman's basically saying he wants them to be challenging next season, at least to be in the top 5, or at least, challenge for Champions League football, which I don't think will happen. It may happen, I may be wrong, or Rooney's basically expecting to achieve silverware with Everton. Obviously, they're not a big, massive club, so I'm dubious about that, to be quite fair. But they have done well, Everton, this transfer window. Monaco have got a few players in. As I said, Manchester City have got players in. Chelsea have now got Rodrigo. They've got Bakayoko in. Arsenal have currently signed Lacazette, as I said, which is going to be a fantastic signing. That's a fantastic signing for Arsenal, is Lacazette, as I said. Putting him... Who's in the race for Alexis Sanchez? Well, basically, Pep Guardiola did say it would be his number 1 solution. I think it did say about Alexis Sanchez that he was demanding a £400,000 a week contract with Arsenal. As I said, are Arsenal willing to pay that salary for him? I don't know. Other teams are capable of paying it, He did say after the Confederations Cup, he said his future had been announced, but he can't tell anybody. But Arsene Wenger is still confident that Alexis Sanchez will stay with Arsenal. But Arsenal, with no Champions League football, as I said, it can go against you in transfer windows. And a player of his calibre, who is quality, he wouldn't have expected to only win a couple of FA Cups in like 3-4 seasons or whatever it was. So he expects to be challenging of a player of his calibre. I think there has been slight rumours of Manchester United have showed their interest. I don't quite know about that. But yeah, City have interested. Also, Bayern Munich have been interested in signing Alexis Sanchez. But Arsenal still need to add depth into their squad. Even though they've got Lacazette, who's highly experienced. As I said, he can come to the Premier League and tear it apart. As I compared him and Lukaku. As I said, Lukaku will score more goals. But I do think, to be quite honest, that Lacazette will perform better in the games. They've got him for like £20 million cheaper. You could arguably say he's better in some aspects of his game. You could say Lukaku's better in some aspects of his game. You know, it's going to be interesting to see how they participate. But it's good signings for the Premier League, for Manchester United and Arsenal, is that so? Have you got any more comments to notify me about? And I will answer your questions. But the money for Lukaku, 75 Arsenal, mate. Well, I was watching Football Terrace yesterday, and it did say basically where the Thomas Lemar deal was off for Arsenal. They've also been interested in Riyad Mahrez as well, haven't they, Arsenal? Lemar, they'd had a couple of bids being rejected at Arsenal for Thomas Lemar. They'd set a price tag out for £80 million at one point, I think, Thomas Lemar. I think a 30-40 million bids being rejected, and then I think they'd nearly agreed. Was it a 45 million deal plus add-ons as well for them? But Lemar, I do like him. Very fast, very quick, very tenacious. Can play numerous positions as well. So that would dramatically improve Arsenal. As I did say, they've got a good signing on board. But if Sanchez does go, I do think Arsenal still need at least another player or two if they're going to be competing for the Premier League next season, or, you know, going for Champions League football, you know. So we'll see. Put any more questions, just put your comments below. And could you basically, mate, if you got any friends or whoever you know, could you invite them to this channel if possible? Liverpool are having a frustrating summer with Keita and Van Dijk deals. Could you, if you got any friends, mate, as I said, could you invite them to the channel, or possibly, if you could? Thanks very much. Yes, with the Keita, according to the German publication that I did read about, that Liverpool had put a 57 million bid in, and that had currently been rejected. Cheers. It had currently been rejected, and that basically it was price tagged at around about £70 million. But the German publication and Chris Williams, the UEFA journalist, did say that a bid has been rejected. But I did say I think they've had some negotiations of the clubs, or they're going to have some negotiations. I can't remember the team's name who he plays for. I can't pronounce. Well, I know the team, but I can't pronounce the team properly. Is it I can't pronounce it. Could you put your name on? I can't pronounce his name correctly. But he's very dynamic, box-to-box player, good at drawing forward, very good defensive. So if Liverpool were to get him on the board, it would be a fantastic signing for them. Liverpool, of course, have got Salah on the board as well. So Van Dijk, yes, with Van Dijk, I'm not quite sure what's been happening with him. I haven't read much into him. He's allegedly supposed to be the best Premier League defender in the world. Well, in the Premier League, sorry, according to Ryan Bertrand reports I've read before. I think Southampton have rated him as around about a £60-70 million player. I'm not quite sure if he's worth that. But Everton have been in there with a bid before for him. Liverpool have obviously interested in him. Chelsea have showed their interest as well in him. Chelsea had their interest in Benuccio. They'd had their interest in another defender as well. But they failed to get that, so they got the signing of Rudiger on the board. So I don't know if Van Dijk's worth that kind of money. Are Southampton willing to sell him if Liverpool are willing to pay his money? But I could tell you what else I was disappointed about Manchester United. You know, missing out on James Rodriguez was a massive, massive, massive disappointment. Massive disappointment. Hey mate, could you put your comments below? And could you, as I said, yes, you've invited people to the channel, which is fantastic news, mate. Yes, with James Rodriguez, he did sign a 2-year loan deal with Bayern Munich. I was very pissed off because Javier Hernandez-Bonnet had reported basically that Bayern Munich were going to put a bid in for him. and that we'd been in advanced talks quite a while with James Rodriguez. He was basically adamant that he wanted to make a move to Manchester United, and for a replacement for Wayne Rooney, mate, we was all adamant he'd be fantastic operating in that number 10 role for Wayne Rooney, and we'd agreed a principle for James Rodriguez, but he'd been banned up by George Mendes to a lot of the clubs. Liverpool were failing to meet his price tag, and it was quite a lot of money because basically didn't even get his name in the Champions League final, or got into the squad or the bench. And yeah, they've offloaded him, and it was a disappointment because James Rodriguez, the player of his calibre, good left foot. He's currently what he's achieved in the World Cup as well has been fantastic as well. A wonder of a left foot, versatile, good, strong, very good in the air, and what a player he would have been. And it's a disappointment that we've lost out on him. We've had positives over the last few weeks in the transfer window, but we have currently had a lot of negatives. We've got Lindelof, we've got Lukaku. So, could you please let me know in the comments below what's happening with Matic, because I don't know what's going on with him at the moment. Could you just let me know? And yes, as I mentioned before, 3 o'clock, 3 a.m. for the UK viewers tonight, and I think it's 7 o'clock down in America. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to be watching the game. Are you going to be watching the game? Can you just let me know in your comments? I don't know if I'm going to be currently watching the game, to be quite fair. I don't know, really. But there's still improvements needed in the team, as I said. Yeah, I can't see. There's still improvements needed in there. The clinical chances that we had last season were dramatic and we didn't take them. Squad rotation needs to improve. Definitely the home form needs to improve as well. And it's good that Jose Mourinho's created youth into the team, as I did say, so they get maybe a year, 2 or 3 years to express themselves more, in that period, to express themselves more. But going back to matter of fact about Arsenal, at least they're trying to get the quality players that they're needing. They're not going for players that are going to have 2 or 3 years, to express themselves and develop into the team better. So yeah, but I said it still may go against them. And basically Chelsea won the league last season. Is Diego Costa leaving? There has been rumours about Diego Costa leaving. They still need them reinforced up front. But the way the table stands now, I can't see. We've won back-to-back Premier Leagues, 2007, 2008, 2009. And yeah, we did really well. We didn't play good football in there. We didn't really play good football, but we're still determined to win the league. So that was good. Yeah, that'll be a good test for the players. The Madrid game in this. I think we've got them in the friendly as well as the Super Cup as well. That's going to be an interesting game. Is that Real Madrid game in the Super Cup? So yeah. Anything else to update you on? But the way that the table stands, well, basically now, with the amount of money that's been spunked out, my table prediction now, the way that the transfer window is going, I'm going to go for the top 4. I'm not going to say we're going to be top, because I am going to be honest. I say maybe, I still say Tottenham will be scraping that top 4, as I said. I think maybe Manchester City top. This is the prediction at the moment in time, the way the transfer room is going. Manchester City top, maybe Chelsea second, Manchester United maybe third, and Tottenham 4th. So that's basically my prediction at the moment. So what do you think? Am I right? Am I wrong? What do you think? I hope so. I hope you're right, mate. I hope you're right. But it's midfield I'm concerned about. We need to strengthen up in that midfield. Carrick's not strong enough going on to next season. Herrera needs to push him, express himself more by getting pushed up. Joe's second season. Yes, last season he did fantastically well. We've got one of the best managers in the world. He's got that big club arrogance. Last season, Jose Mourinho, in his first debut season, you know, to achieve the Europa League and get Champions League football, win the League Cup and the Community Shield on account, is overall a good season. Obviously, we expected more than the amount of money that was spent on players, but it was just the home form that basically let us down last season, and some of the performances just weren't good enough, and that's why, basically. With Aubameyang as well, I did say, as I did report on that Chelsea, well, it was according to the reports, they currently go to Switzerland on the 24th of July, which is my birthday. So I hope from you guys who are going to be watching are going to give me some birthday invitations as well. That he'd been offered to Chelsea for £60-70 million. He's good at getting through the channels. I was shocked that Manchester United was not in for Aubameyang. I was very, very shocked that we wasn't in for him. We're a player of his calibre. But I think more things are going to be discussed. His future will be decided before they go to Switzerland on the 24th of July. I can't see really. I think Chelsea have got more chance of getting in than Liverpool. Paris Saint-Germain have been there, but they'd opt out of the race. Liverpool, obviously, Klopp had worked with him at Borussia Dortmund all that time. They're looking for a reunion, and I can't see Liverpool getting him because Liverpool aren't basically one of the elite teams anymore as they used to be. They've got a good history like Manchester United, but history doesn't count at this day and age, so that's what you've got to take into consideration. Yeah, but I can't see Liverpool getting Aubameyang on board. I'm shocked that wasn't in for him, but do you still think basically whatever's going to be happening with Zlatan Ibrahimovic, do you think we need another striker in there with Lukaku? Because obviously we know Morata was plan A, Lukaku's plan B, so yeah, so put your comments below what you think to that. Because Lukaku's going to be playing around good players and that's what will help him and develop himself more. So yeah, do you still think we need another striker in there for this season? Just let me know in the comment. Do you think we need another striker with Lukaku in there? Said Rashford, he needs to improve on his finishing assets. Not ready to lead the lines as yet, as I did quote out before. So Rashford's not ready. He's just not ready. But he's got experience. He's a good player, but he's not ready. I'll be happy to wait. Good point. I don't think Jose Mourinho's really bothered about the strikers now with the latest news about Zlatan Ibrahimovic that he could be still signing another short-term deal in October sometime, I think it is. But it's over schedule because, as I said, initially he was supposed to be out to the end of the year with that injury, but we'd have positive feedback from medical staff that he's doing fantastic well. He's been currently working in the Carrington training complex as Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He's obviously been maybe favoured to move to China. He's been favoured to move to the MLS. And yeah, I do basically hope he stays, does Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I do hope he stays, really. Because what has he achieved? Paris Saint-Germain, what he achieved at Barcelona, and what he's done for Manchester United, leading the lines fantastically well with 28 goals last season. So, yeah. Griezmann would be my first choice in January. He would be definitely my first choice in January. He can score your goals. He'll fit into the Manchester United agenda perfect. The only reason he didn't come is because of the transfer ban. That is the only reason he didn't come to Manchester United. So, yeah. Any more comments to put below? If you've got any questions, I will answer them. But do you think David De Gea is going to go? Do you think David De Gea is going to go? I really hope he does not go. I'm still confident we can retain him. We can stub Real Madrid away. So, yeah. There's been alternative replacements. As I said, if David De Gea goes, there's been Joe Hart on the equation. Okay. See ya. Right, anyway. There's been Joe Hart on the equation. There's been Blanc on the equation. But I don't want Joe Hart. He's absolutely useless. I do not want Joe Hart. Don't know too much about Blanc, so yeah, I'm going to think if there's any more news to update you with. I'm just going to think. Any more news? Yes, so yeah, Steven Perisic looks realistic. That's going to happen on a Monday. Morata's obviously presume that's not going to happen now. Great. Good. I hope he doesn't. I really hope David De Gea does not leave. But Real Madrid are showing their interest. They keep calling their interest, then they keep gaining their interest at Real Madrid. So, but personally, do you think David De Gea does want to go to Madrid? That's the question. We want to keep him, but does he want to go to Real Madrid? I do not know. Anyway, guys, that's everything to update you. Drop your likes and comments below. I've had enough now, and see you on my next video when more things update. So take it easy. I'll see you later on. Bye.